It's the 20th of September and I've read 0 books this month, so we're doing a 24-hour readathon. It is pretty much 6 p.m, but I will be sleeping. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna sleep. I think for my first 24-hour readathon, I'm just going to like read as much as I can today, as much as I can tomorrow, and just see in total how many pages I can read in 24 hours because, guys, the people that stay up for 24 hours, warriors. But I have a bunch of books that I'm thinking of reading. I started Daydream by Hannah Grace ages ago, so I think I'll just finish that because I got to page 183, so I was like almost halfway through it, so that's easy enough. And who knows, we've got a bunch. I'm trying to decide if I will do a countdown or like up. I feel like it would be better to count up because then I can see 24 hours like in total, but then if I do count down I can see it go to 0. I'll do count up. These are the 2 books I'm thinking of starting with. So Daydream, because I've already started it, but I'm not like crazy about continuing it right now, so I might just start, see how it's going, and then if I'm not into it I'll just put it down. But then I also have Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, which I've wanted to read for ages. Really excited about this. I also have a few books on my Kindle, maybe like fantasy. I have loads of options. These are the 2 that I'm thinking of starting with, and I'll keep you guys updated on what we're at. And yeah, let's just start the timer. One thing Hannah Grace knows how to do is to make you hate the ex, because I remember in Icebreaker I hated Anastasia's ex, and in this one, oh my god, Hallie's ex is evil. Like, I'm literally almost done. I'm almost done, and I just got to a part and he's actually disgusting. Like, I hate him. I know the lighting's bad, but I've just turned off my light. I've got the timer over here still going. It's paused right now, obviously, but I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna read before bed. I'm thinking of fantasy, Quicksilver, One Dark Window, Zodiac Academy 1, or I'll pick Serpent in the Wings of Night. I think I'm gonna look at like how many pages, read a quick description of each, and kind of think which one I'm feeling the most. But yeah, I'm gonna stay up for as long as I can, but I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm not gonna like force myself. I'm just gonna see how far into it I get tonight, and then the majority of the challenge I'll do tomorrow. Good morning. Excuse this, I literally just woke up. The first thing I'm gonna do this morning is finish Daydream because I have like 20 pages left, so I'm gonna do that and then I'll update you guys again. Okay, I have not been doing very well on updates, I won't lie. We are 6 hours and 5 minutes and 54 seconds into the challenge. I paused the timer. Now, I'm nothing if not a mood reader, so I have kind of been mixing between a few. I had started Daydream by Hannah Grace before the challenge, so I only had a bit left. Then I spent majority of the time reading Not Another Love Song. And I know this is really all over the place. Like, you just read one book and then go to the next one, But I'm going to try to do that for the rest of the challenge. So, Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. I'm loving this. It's so much fun. It's so easy to read. I'm on page 103 on that. So I'm not far. Like, I've only read this much. And then, before bed, I'll have those on Kindle. So, I started reading Quicksilver. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But 6 hours in, it's taking me a little while, but we're gonna try to get a little bit more done now, and I will update you on what we do next. A little update on Not Another Love Song. I am starting to really enjoy it because for a little bit there I was thinking Xander is actually just like a bit mean, like he's just a bit rude. I know that there's going to be like depth or whatever, but I kind of was just like, why are you so rude? But we just got a chapter from his POV, so I'm seeing the sprinkle of romance start. The only other thing which took me a minute to get into is that it's in third person, so you know, it's Gwen didn't like this or whatever, but now I'm totally into it and I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it actually affected any of my reading so far. It was just, I was surprised when I first started it and saw that it wasn't in first person, because I guess I'm just used to that. But this book is really, really good. I'm loving Julie Soto's writing. I'm probably going to read her other book, Forget Me Not, now, because this is so fun and easy to read. Basically, we have Xander Thorne, and he is a really good what is he? He's a cellist. And then we're following also Gwen, who's a musical prodigy. And yeah, they don't like each other. They don't get on. And then Gwen is given a promotion that kind of makes Xander not very happy. So that's where we are at the moment, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm getting through it really fast, and yeah, I'm really happy I picked it up. Okay guys, I won't even lie. 24-hour reading challenges are hard to keep track of. Like, this is taking me a little bit of time, but I'm trying to be real. So, I don't know how some people get it done in like 2 days, because I have not been. Let me check the timer. So we are 7 hours, 5 minutes and 59 seconds in. I'm trying to see how much I can actually read in this time frame. I've finished Staging by Hannah Grace, but I've also, obviously, as you've seen, I've been reading Quicksilver, and I've been reading Not Another Love Song. So for Quicksilver, I've gotten to page 64. For Not Another Love Song, I've gotten to page 103. Technically, if you think about it. So I read almost a book size, 64 pages and 100. So I've actually read a good amount. But for the rest of the challenge, I need to try and just stick to one book and finish it so that it's a little less chaotic. So I'm probably going to read this for a couple hours before I go to sleep, and then kind of when I turn off my light and I'm getting cozy in bed, and until I fall asleep, I'm going to read Quicksilver. Hopefully by the end of the challenge, we finished all 3, maybe 4 books. 4 books in 24 hours is kind of great. I've psyched myself out because being in the middle of 3 instead of reading, I don't know, it seems less successful, but we're doing good. Just take you a few days. We're going to continue reading Quicksilver. What is this cover? Disgusting. Also, why is his name Kingfisher? Why is his name Kingfisher? Anyway, so far it's really, really easy to read. I'm going to keep the timer going. You know the story. I don't understand why the author picked our main character's age to be 24, because she just doesn't seem 24 at all. Like, surely make her like 20. I don't know. It's a really random age because she's not acting this way. Good morning. It is currently 6:56, so it's almost 7, and we are 9 hours and 36 minutes and 1 second into the timer. I have it paused behind the camera. Last night I finished Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and I have some things. I don't know, it was really insta-lovey, like very insta-lovey, and sometimes he was just rude. Like a lot of things just weren't resolved. This isn't my favourite romance ever. It had potential to be really, really good, but there were just bits that I just didn't adore. That's so funny because I actually forget. I remember as I was reading it, I was like, I need to update because this is how I feel. Yeah, I forget. Now, I would recommend, but it was my favourite. 3 stars. But this morning, we're going to continue with Quicksilver. and I'm actually having such a fun time with it so far. Obviously, it's kind of a little bit Wattpad-y, just a little bit, but I'm kind of loving it. It's really fun and fast-paced, and yeah. Hey guys, we're officially on 12 hours, 24 minutes and 21 seconds, and today, for the majority of the day, when I was doing like house jobs and things like that, and when I was commuting, I was listening to Ali Hazelwood's new, it's like an audiobook thing on Spotify. I don't actually know if there's a like Kindle or like an actual book version of it, but it's like kind of like a short story called Two Can Play, and it was good. Like, I finished it. It was only 4 hours long, and obviously I had it faster than on 1 time speed, so I finished all of it. It was fine. He was a little bit cringe, like it was so insta-lovey. Oh my god. Obviously it's going to be in a short story, but it just wasn't believable at all. I kind of liked her, and I actually think the book would have worked if it was a full book. I actually think it would have been really good, but yeah, I don't really know why it needed to be a thing. Yeah, it was fine. It was entertaining. The spice was really awkward listening to, I can't lie. But I kind of just skipped that because, yeah, it was weird. He was just like way too like lusty over this person that he didn't know, and he was like in love with her, but yeah, it wasn't really for me. I gave it 2.5 stars because, again, it's a short story, and also I didn't really like it, so yeah, that's my update. But I kind of wanted to listen to something while I was doing jobs today, keep the timer running, and then yeah, I have to keep going with Quicksilver. I think it's a really long book that I picked for this challenge, but I'm enjoying it. Okay, 16 hours, 51 minutes and 6 seconds in, and we're almost finished. Unsteady by Peyton Curran. We're on page 270, so I only have like this much left. Yeah, which is really, really good. I've been flying through it. I don't know, Quicksilver was just taking a long time, so I decided to put it down for a minute, and yeah, I just felt like something quick-paced and easy. Okay, update. I've decided I'm not going to keep reading Quicksilver. It's just really long, and I don't feel like rushing it because, yeah, it's just not the right book for the challenge. So instead, we're going to read Misery by Stephen King. I wanted to read this for so long, so yeah, I've started it. We're on page 21 out of 421. So I think I'll be able to finish this, and we will finish the challenge. That's the goal. So I'm gonna get reading. I want to try finish the challenge with this book. It says that there's 12 hours. It's going to take 12 hours and 47 minutes, but I think I can read it way faster than that because, yeah, when I started it last night, I was like falling asleep, so I was reading slowly. So hopefully when I start reading it now, it'll pick up. And so far it's really good. This is my first Stephen King, so I am really excited to update you guys on it, and yeah, I'll just let you guys know. Okay guys, we're almost finished. It is 22 hours, 10 minutes and 50 seconds on the timer, and Misery is going really well. This book is crazy. I'm 80% through, and I'm on page 335, and it is insane. This book is my first ever. Would this be a horror? I don't know. I don't know if this would be considered a horror. Probably. It's kind of like a thriller horror. But it's my first ever Stephen King. And it's not going to be my last Stephen King because It's really good. I can't believe we have less than 2 hours left in the challenge. That's insane. I'm really, really excited. So I'm literally just gonna sit and read, and yeah, then 24 hours will be done and we'll do a recap and all that stuff. Okay, 23 hours, 38 minutes and 1 second, and I just finished Misery. Oh, there's no at the end. I wish. Yeah, I just finished. So, that book was insane. Oh my god, it was so good. But yeah, I have like 20-ish minutes left, 25-ish minutes left. So I think I'm gonna read a little short story. I have Mr. Salary by Sally Rooney, who I love, and let's see how long my Kindle says it will take. I think it's only like 30 pages, so yeah, I just feel like it would be nice to finish at the exact time. So yeah, it says it's going to take less than 30 minutes to read, so let's just sit here, read this, and then the 24-hour challenge will be done. I just finished Mr. Salary and we are on 23 hours, 57 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay guys, let's officially wrap up this 24-hour reading challenge. Now obviously, as you know, it did not go extremely smoothly. It took a couple of days to get through, but I'm still really happy because the goal was to see how much I could read in a 24-hour period, and we're going to go through some stats in a second. But first, we'll just briefly go over the books that I read. So first we read Daydream by Hannah Grace. This was good, I enjoyed it. I probably won't think about it again. It was 3 stars, but I'm happy that I read it. I had been really excited for it. Now the representation was so good and I felt incredibly seen in some parts. Like I got like emotional at some parts, but then also on the other hand I didn't really enjoy the book. So I think maybe because Hannah Grace was writing from like a personal experience and the way that she feels things, that part hit, but the rest of the book, it was fine. I think in terms of entertainment wise, my favorite is still definitely Icebreaker by her, but the representation with Henry and stuff, that I really loved. Then I read Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and I loved this until I didn't. So I was really enjoying it and it was fun and it was funny, but then there was bits and it was annoying me and I was rolling my eyes and it kind of just felt rushed. Like I think this had potential to be a lot better than it was. Now obviously I'm not a writer, like I'm not critiquing Julie Soto, it's just, yeah, it just didn't go where I thought it was going to go. And so yeah, I didn't adore it. I give it a 3 stars because I did enjoy like the first half, and then it kind of just, I was kind of over it. Then I started Quicksilver, which I did soft DNF because it was just not the right book for this challenge. I would have probably ended up only reading that for the rest of the video, which is fine, but I also probably would have rushed it and not enjoyed it as much. So I'm gonna probably continue it, but just obviously didn't do it in this video. So instead I picked up Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. I wanted to read this for ages and honestly I really did like it. I've thought about it a couple of times since I've read it. It's just your classic hockey romance, but there's more elements to it than just a romance. I also loved that I read this in one sitting. It was so easy and quick paced. But also I really enjoyed the characters. It hits a couple of more sensitive topics, so check trigger warnings. There's a few side plots. We follow Reese and Sadie, and they both go through a lot individually, and I liked there was more depth to the story than just, you know, a normal romance, because the other two kind of, yeah, they were all very similar, and this one, it was refreshing, but it was so quick paced. So I would recommend reading this if you're doing a challenge or you want to read something quick. Maybe if you're in a reading slump, I would definitely recommend reading this one. Next, I listened to Ali Hazelwood's new audiobook, Two Can Play, and I kind of talked about that already. 2.5, it was just kind of, yeah, I didn't really like it. I actually think if it had been a full book, I would have enjoyed it, but it was short, it was a fun little short story, and I think that it was fine, and yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it. Then we moved on to Misery by Stephen King. This was incredible. This was my first book by him, and I wanted to read it for ages. The story just really intrigued me because I'd seen clips of like the movie adaptation and I'd heard about it, and honestly it did not disappoint at all. I'm gonna give it like a 4.75. It was almost a 5, but it's not. But it was so good. It was also really exciting to read something so different from the others for the end of the challenge. I was hooked, and it was just amazing. Obviously he's a horror writer. It was kind of more like a thriller, but there was a lot of like gore. It wasn't anything crazy. I don't think that, you know, it would scare anyone too much, but I loved the intensity of it, and I was kind of like, I was trying to figure out how this situation was going to get resolved the entire time, and yeah, I think it was a really good book to read, and I'm glad that I made that choice. And then finally, I was almost finished the challenge. I had like 20 minutes left, so I read the short story Mr. Salary by Sally Rooney, and honestly, I love her. I wish that this was a full novel. I would have eaten that up. It was because it had hooked me. It was like I had just read the first chapter and then I got nothing. Like I was ready, I tapped for the next page and it was over. So yeah, I need Sally Rooney to make that into a book, but I honestly would give it 5 stars, but I'm going to give it 4 because it's not a full book. And it's a short story. It took like 15 minutes to read. So yeah, but those are all the books that I read. Like that's what, 5 and a bit. I got a good bit into Quicksilver. Hey guys, I forgot to do an outro as always, so this is future editing me. I'm gonna put some stats on the screen now. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun doing this. I really hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.